Chiati. There is no wheelbarrow in Chiati. Yeah, we hear about it elsewhere, but it's not in. We don't know about it in Chiati.
When it comes to national politics, let me start from Baringo. Let nobody lie to you kwamba Baringo kuna chama ingine. There is no any other party in Baringo. Baringo will be UDA, and all aspirants, all the aspirants for all positions. If you will not be from UDA, you'll never see that seat. I can only say that you can exempt Yati. It's good to be honest. You can exempt Yati because that's where KANU has been playing its politics. But
self-reliant. So I have a different approach. I've shared with you the different approach that I have. I want us to deal with issues right from that ground level.
You know, Baringo has made a decision, and I don't think somebody will nervous about the presidency. In fact, when you get these people, they are no longer talking about the president. The real elephant in the house now, not even so much of governorship, but the real elephant is in the MP seats.
Ni wakati wetu wa kupiga siasa kuleta uongozi mzuri Baringo County.
The aspirant show, or rather Know Your Aspirant show. Tonight we are privileged to have an MP aspirant from Baringo Central, and maybe before we get to know him, this platform gives you an opportunity to know who your leader would be, so that by the time you're going into voting, you know who the aspirant is, you know what they stand for, and also get to interact with them through this platform. This platform also gives you, as an aspirant, an opportunity to get to express yourself, get to tell the people why you want to vie and why they need to, or rather why they need you as their leader, or why you would want to work with them as their leader in or on an elected position. I'm your host, Komen SK, and stick around the show. You'll get to learn more about our guest today. Tonight, we have a guest. His name is Paul Arap Tororey. He's about, I believe he's still a youth. We'll get to know about that. But looking at him, of course, it looks like he's still within the bracket that House of fall in. Why do these people, young people, going for this leadership? And for Tororey tonight, it is his time to give us his highlight on why he wants to be the MP for Baringo Central. Karibu sana. I'm your host, Komen SK. Karibu sana, Bwana Tororey.
Asante sana, SK.
Imekuwa safari ndefu, and I think to the viewers we are a bit sorry. We are quite sorry for the delay. Safari imekuwa ndefu for Tororey. He's been on the campaign trail. Leo umekuwa wapi kwanza kabla tujue hata wewe ni nani?
Leo nimekuwa kule Kwale, my village area. I was meeting my people there. And I'm sorry, it was a bit late.
That's okay, no problem. Finally we are here. So who is Bwana Tororey? Paul Arap Tororey.
Good, thank you very much, SK. Thank you for your invite. My name is Paul Yator Arap Tororey. Born and brought up in Kapkole, Kapchomuso, Orokwa location.
Orokwa location.
Kabarnet ward, Baringo Central, Baringo County.
Wow.
And I'm a Kenyan.
That's quite an elaborate introduction. So huyu kijana Tororey alisomea wapi, na akasomea nini, na anafanya nini kwa sasa?
Nilisoma katika shule ya msingi, Kapchomuso Primary School. Nikatoka Kapchomuso, nikamalizia class 8 shule inaitwa Kitindui Primary School. After my class 8, I went to Kitu High School. After Kitu High School, that was the year 2007, I joined into business. I went into business. I opened a cyber business in Kabarnet.
Aha. Which cyber is that? Because hata mimi nimekaa Kabarnet kidogo, labda I consumed some of your products.
I was doing Mahangula business at Malembo Plaza, second floor. We are doing photocopy, cyber, and printing, and passport.
And that sounds like the business yenye ulifuatilia, because when we met in Nairobi, my first time when we were meeting you in Nairobi was, I think it was in before elections of 2017.
Around 2015.
2015 thereabout. You were with my friend anaitwa DK.
Yes.
And you had a sample print of a given design.
Yeah.
Is that the business that you are also doing in Nairobi? Because from the introduction that we were giving, you could see a Nairobi-based businessman.
Yeah, I still do the same business, but in a different way. And I also have engaged myself in a different business. I improved that business from a cyber, and I went into printing press.
Yes, and I think that is what I saw with you while we met in Nairobi, when we met in Nairobi.
Yeah, sure. So I've expanded, I've grown from bottom, going up.
Bottom up.
Bottom up.
I can see how you are crafting those. Somebody can almost know the party that you're associated with.
And before that, after my Form 4, when I went into that business, I did that business because I didn't went to college immediately. Because of challenges we were facing back home. I had to support my siblings, my family.
When you first born?
I'm not first born, but around fourth born.
Around. You're an African man.
Yeah.
You don't want us to be very sure where you're placed.
Yeah. And then I think I did a business for
So from Form 4 directly you went to business?
I went
3
to
years.
business.
Ukaenda college?
In fact, I only stayed 1 week after my Form 4 exams. I stayed 1 week at home.
Ukaenda biashara?
Ukaenda biashara.
Na hii biashara ulianza peke yako ama kuna mtu alikushikilia mkono?
My uncle.
Uncle yako?
My uncle anishika mkono. My uncle called Ben Kapsir. That time he was from US. And he had brought that new technology of instant passport. And then we combined with the cyber and printing. Well,
so which year did you join college and what did you study?
I joined college at around 2011.
2011.
And I went to study Business Information Technology.
BBIT.
BBIT. I graduated 2014. And immediately after I graduated, it was like starting a new life. You know, when you go to college, there are a lot of challenges also.
Yep.
Fees and how to sustain yourself. There are so many challenges.
Yep.
So after my graduation, I had to start from somewhere.
Yep.
Again.
By then, we were in Nairobi.
By then I was in Nairobi.
Yeah. Which college did you attend?
I went to MKU. And why I did that is because they were having a flexible program of distance learning and online programs.
Yeah.
And since I was a fast and sharp student.
Sharp student.
Yeah.
Na unajiamini aje?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I prefer, since I had some hard activities.
Ya biashara.
Biashara. Because I had to jungle both business.
Unashikilia biashara and at the same time going to school.
Going to school.
So you opted for distance learning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After that, life became a bit difficult after graduating. Because, you know, sometimes jungling both may not go well.
Yep.
And I faced some challenges. And I had to rethink again how to construct my life.
So
back to business.
Ukisema the challenge, what challenge did you face within that time? Because I'm sure, you know, with leadership also, there's something called mentorship.
Yeah.
I'm sure whoever is watching would want also to learn nini ulipitia and how did you get yourself out of it?
Yeah, since when I went to school, I could not run that business as it was before.
Yep.
And some other people were doing, but it was not sustainable as I was there personally. Secondly, we also moved from the place we were, and we got some challenges to get a relocation place. So those are part of the challenges we faced. And much from that time, I was concentrating much on my studies.
Yep.
And because I did a bit, that course was also easy, because I majored in software engineering.
Yep.
So I got some challenges.
Yep.
And after graduating, I had to start from zero again.
Well, so how did you manage to move to where you are? Because kabla useme unataka kuwa MP bana, kuna venye umefika mahali. Juzi there was a very young aspirant here in Ravine, na akamwambia DP, last time sikuwa na bibi, sikuwa na pesa, na sikuwa kwa chama mzuri. Sasa sahi niko na bibi, niko na nyumba, niko na gari, na niko na kakitu. So how did you manage to rebuild yourself to where you are?
Now, after my university course, or after graduating, I thought of how to start life again. I remember very well, I saved some money. I remained with around 10,000 shillings. And I went to think further. And I decided to do shoe business.
Biashara ya kuuza viatu.
I went to Kikomba. Nikanunua viatu. Na nikaona it is good for me. Ninunue viatu ya kina mama. Because they are fast moving.
Yep.
Sometime I was there. Anaweza hata miaka 2 bila kununua kiatu. So I went there, I bought mitumba shoes for ladies. Nikafika, nikaona, that time I was living in Tenges, a small center in Tenges. Nikafungua, nikaleta zile viatu, nikakuja kungarisha kabisa, nikaosha vizuri, nikapanguza vizuri, nikaweka mafuta vizuri, nikashine.
Viatu vya kina mama.
Viatu vya kina mama, mitumba.
How much did you put in that business? Invest shilingi ngapi kwa hiyo?
It was only 10,000.
10,000. So ukaleta, iliuza kwa mbio kiasi gani?
That week, it was on a Friday. Nikatengeneza weekend. Monday nika relax. Tuesday nikaenda market. Every Tuesday you have a market in Tenges. Nikaenda market. Nikauza zile viatu.
Wewe na degree yako?
Mimi na degree yangu.
Ukaenda market.
Naenda kuuza viatu. Nikauza zile viatu, nikauza 40 pairs.
Your market peke yake?
Your Tuesday peke yake.
When was that? Which year was this?
That was around 2014.
2014.
Yeah.
One market day, 40 pairs.
40 pairs.
On average, one pair was going for how long?
200 shilling.
How many pairs had you bought?
100 pairs.
100 pairs. So you're almost hitting 50% of your stock.
Yes.
Wow.
Now, every Thursday again, in Tenges ward, you have a market in Kapkayo. Kapkayo market. Thursday.
Kapkayo.
Thursday, nikaingia kwa lori.
Yeah.
Tunakuwa na lori inaendanga Kapkayo. Napeleka wanabiashara.
Wanabiashara.
Kabisa. Nikaingia hiyo lori hiyo Thursday na viatu yangu. Nikateremka Kapkayo. Nikaenda kuuza viatu. Nikauza zote.
The remaining pairs, 60 pairs.
Nikaingiza pesa mfukoni.
Wacha nipige hesabu. And talking of pesa mfukoni, you can see where we are heading to. It's a political period, and it's quite relatable to people like you. So 200 pairs, 100 pairs, 200 shillings per pair.
Yeah.
So that is double the amount.
Double the amount.
Kafanya nini next?
Nikarudi Kikomba.
Wiki mbili na usharudisha pesa.
Nimesharudisha pesa.
That sounds like a quick business.
Nikarudi
hapa na media.
Nikarudi Kikomba.
Yeah.
Nikanunua viatu.
Yeah.
Nakaleta the same way. Hiyo ikachukua muda kidogo. It's around 1 month. That is how I started. I grew up. Mpaka nikafungua retail shop. And it was majorly shoe shop.
Na maybe tupunguze hiyo muda ya the shoe business. So how far is the shoe business right now, and what are you still doing the same business?
You know. I graduated
from shoe business to
now. When I was in Tenges, of course, I met friends. I link up with friends, and I know how to make friends. I got a friend, nikompa kazi. Now I was thinking of my course, my career. Nimefanya IT. Nimeuza viatu karibu miaka 3. Niendelee kuuza viatu niwache hivyo tu ama nibadilishe?
Ukatafuta kazi.
Sikutafuta kazi. Nikatafuta rafiki. Nikaomba kazi. A business. A tender.
A contract.
That is the point. Nikaomba contract. Na kwa ile neema ya Mwenyezi Mungu. Akanikubali tu. He gave me a good job. A good contract.
What contract was this?
It was fixing computers, hardware and software.
So you're basically maintaining their computers?
Maintaining.
Yeah.
And it gave me good money. And before going into that business, there were some requirements that in every contract you're given, because it is an institution, you must have a company.
So you had to register a company for
yourself? I had to register a company. And that's where my life started.
Wow.
I did that business, and I grew up into supply and installation of CCTVs, fiber, and that is how I've grown.
So that is your current business now?
That's my current business, and of course still I have the printing business.
So you've diversified from normal printing. You started with taking pictures, going to printing, going into commercial printing, alafu ukajipeleka shule. Na hii shule ulijilipia?
Nilijilipia.
Wow.
Nilijilipia.
How much was it? How much did it cost you? Per year?
So 60 per semester.
So that's 120 times 4 years.
Yeah.
That is around 480,000, and you paid for yourself.
I paid for myself.
From not having to afford fee ya high school, hadi unajilipia college, ndio yuko na biashara zako. How does it feel having traveled that journey?
It is very encouraging and keeping me moving and making me going, because it's hard work. It needs resilience, perseverance. And you know, I always say, for those people who will go to heaven, majority are business people.
For those who will go to heaven, majority of them are business people. We can hold it at that and get to see what people are saying online. I'm seeing quite a number of people are watching this program, and it is quite encouraging, because it's a young man here who has a story of growing from the bottom and going up. It is Paul Tororey, who is vying for the MP seat in Baringo Central. A few comments. Robert Kibe anasema, I saw and had lunch with him in Tenges while you were selling the shoes. Do you know Robert?
I know.
Well, Alphonse Chepsat anasema, congratulations for the progress that you're making. Ngelem, vijana sasa, kazi ni kazi. Paul, I wish you well, Arap Tororey. Bartune anasema, Paul, good job, bro. I think many people are impressed by your journey to where you are right now. And maybe back to the same part that we were in. You were born in Kapchumuso.
Yeah.
And I can see you're doing business in Tenges.
Yeah.
Any relationship between the two places? How did you find yourself in Tenges?
My people were working there in Tenges. My family was there. And that is the basis where I found myself there.
And you've answered the question. Uko na bibi, uko na kakitu. Kwa siasa, you can't run away from that. Kama unaomba women rep, unaambiwa we kwanza show us your last one.
Yeah, sure.
That is how biased this political arena is. Now, before we take a break, I wish everybody wishes to know now, what made you think of going for a political office?
I can say it's a calling. And this calling has been there for so many years. Since I was born, since I was young, I have been having a calling, but I not understood which direction was taking me. It has taken me too long to realize my calling. It has taken me 33 years.
33 years?
To realize my calling.
So we are well, of course we can't say 33, bana. When you ulianza kujielewa lini? Is it 33 years old?
Yeah.
Yes, so we can say it has taken you 23 years because
maybe
10 years, bana. Tujisamee kwenye. Because we are tuko miaka. So it's been a calling.
Yeah.
Ni wapi ulianza kuona uko na huu uongozi?
Niliona wakati nilingia shule ya upili. I remember very well. Nikiwa when I was ending my Form 1, I was getting into Form 2. And nikapewa kuwa prefect.
Yep.
And at the same Form 2, immediately I was given to be the captain of my dorm.
Yeah.
And you know, when you are in Form 2, when you are a captain and you are leading Form 3 and Form 4s, you are now controlling the Form 4, the Form 3s, the Form 4s. That is the moment I realized I have the leadership skills, leadership qualities, that I have a calling to lead, because I was able to control my elders at that time when I was in high school. And there's a time, my principal at the time, Julius Boley,
who is now the municipal administrator in Kabarnet.
And was a good friend of mine. At the time, there's a time told me, Kiblagat, today I want you to take charge of the school. Taking charge of the whole school. That there was no teacher at that time, and himself was around. And he told me, now today you are controlling this school. You are the principal.
You're the principal.
And you understand now to control 1,200 to 1,500 students.
Which school is this?
Kituro High School.
Kituro High School.
Yes. That is the moment I realized I can maneuver, I can be creative, and I can be able to run an institution.
Yeah.
And good enough, I was able to manage, put things in order, and things ran very smoothly. That is the moment I realized there is something in me, and I was feeling actually from my heart that there is something. After school, before even I joined the business sector, I was feeling like I go into preaching and become a pastor.
Kukujua barate wewe ni pastor.
Because I was feeling I want to serve my people. But now I didn't know in which capacity.
Yeah.
Right? So I was trying to see, because I'm a Christian and I'm born again, then I said, I can be a pastor. I can go and preach. Unfortunately, it did not came the way I was thinking.
Yeah.
Things became different. So That is why I'm now here. And all along, I've got into politics.
Mm-hmm. And looks like you are actively involved in the politics of Baringo in 2017.
Yeah, sure.
Was that your first time to be actively involved? Because I could see you in a given, I think, majorly the MPs sit.
Yeah. And
is that the first time you were involved in politics?
Yeah, that was the first time.
Mm-hmm.
I involved myself into politics. Before I didn't want.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
we have to go a pastor.
Yeah, I wanted to be a pastor actually. And wakati niliona hiyo dream ya kuwa pastor ijakuja, nikasema Mungu wako na mpangilio, lakini hajanionyesha ni nini. So nikaona nipeleka round sana. So 2017 is the moment I got myself into politics.
Yeah.
I did that because I saw the need to have a change in our community, our constituency. And I thought that...
What agenda do you have for the people of Baringo Central? So if you're watching, keep it here. And if you feel you have a question, a comment that you wish to let our guest today to know, you can have it on the comment section. You can also send via WhatsApp through 0799030030. Ruben Kipkemei, this guy deserves to be an MP at Ru.
Asante.
Brother, great hustle.
Asante.
And I think your story about the business is very inspirational. It's something that ni kama pia mimi najigamba kwamba I've been in business lakini sijapitia hiyo yako.
Okay.
Ewalel chap iko locked, that is Ernest Kiprop, kiongozi kamili, mtoto wa mfalme. Kibiegon Arap Maina anasema keep off politics. Many have been ruined. Defy and grow what you have. Maybe you will also need to answer him as to why you've chosen to go into business and at the same time juggling with politics. Finally, our last comment for now is Yegon Pash. My friend and brother Paul, go for it. You are up to the task.
Asante.
And what's your take on the youth agenda in this year's elections? What is the role of the youth and in governance? So we'll come back to that so that you can get an answer for Pash Yegon. So we'll take a minute or two break. Stay tuned. We'll come back and we continue to get to know why Bwana Tororey is going for the MP Baringo Central. You've heard that his is a calling from wishing to be a pastor to now going into politics. And you know how pastors can minister to people and convince many people that there is heaven, and we are actually heading there. So stay tuned. We'll get to know about for you, the youth, for the women, the elderly, and of course, what he wants to transform in Baringo Central. Stay there. Right now in Marigat, Baringo County, a farmer is irrigating his farm that would soon feed a nation. The large-scale hay farmer in Kampiamoto, Nakuru County, is making a fortune out of his partnership with the Kenya Seed. A coffee factory set up by a farmers' cooperative in Baringo North is set to start exporting coffee beans. The budding dairy farmers in Ravine, through collaboration, would soon be setting up their milk processing plant. And these tea factories in Nandi and Elgeyo Marakwet counties are yearning to expand, owing to the ease of paying farmers who supply them leaf. Workers at this flower farm in Njoro, Nakuru County, wake up every day to spread the love across the globe. And for this retail shop owner, his dreams are valid. One day he will own a chain of supermarkets. There is a spirit in the sky that drives people to do more. It is in our customers, our employees and DNA. And it is another reason to look up to Skyline. Skyline Circle, Patterns. Welcome back. It's been a short break and thank you for staying on. I know most of you may be watching news right now, but good enough, I can see quite a number of us are also watching this program. It is a program that gives you an opportunity to know your leader ahead of the elections. The elections are drawing nearer. The general elections, August 9, 2022, about 100 and something days, not much days from now. The nominations are also coming fast, scheduled for between 16th and the 22nd of April. So here we give you an opportunity to know these leaders so that by the time you are nominating them in their respective parties, at least you know the content that they have and also what the plans that they do have for you as a person who will be voting. So this platform is educating you, the voter and aspirant, an equal opportunity to get to interact with you and at the same time to express their agenda. And tonight we are having with us here Paul Arap Tororey, who is the MP aspirant for Baringo Central. He is only 33 years old. What is pushing the youth to go for these seats? And Tororey has his reasons to say. Now, Bona Tororey, what is your agenda for the people of Baringo Central?
Thank you, SK. Before I go into my agenda, first of all, I want to explain something. One, I want to encourage our young people. Why I did that business at that time. I did that business to improve myself. Na wakati nilifanya hiyo biashara, sikuichukua hiyo kazi.
Yeah.
Nilisema wira na wira,
kazi ni kazi.
Kazi ni kazi. Nikaona nikuwe na pesa mfukoni, niboreshe maisha yangu.
Aha.
Na I want to encourage even the young people ya kwamba tusichukue kazi. Meanwhile, wakati tunatafuta ile kitu tunataka, let us do something for a living.
So usikae tu bure, ukingoja manna from heaven.
No, usikae tu bure. Tusikae kwenda center na kuhesabu magari. Na kuhesabu ile watu wamenunua magari. Na hapana. Let us soil our hands. Let us do something. Tufanye kitu. At least do something.
Yes.
Tusikae tu.
And of course you're busy.
Yes. Despite of hata kama uko na degree, kama mimi nilikuwa na degree,
na ukakuja kuuza viatu.
Nikakuja kuuza viatu.
Yeah.
Sikusema I'm a graduate.
Yes.
Nilisema niboreshe maisha yangu kivipi. Na I want to encourage my young people. Na kwamba meanwhile as we struggle and if we look for a better greener pasture, let us do something. Tusiogope kusema kwamba umesoma usifanye kazi ile ya chini.
Kweli.
Two, my agenda for my people. I want to bring change. I want to bring sanity. I want to change my people. In my constituency, we have so many challenges touching our people.
Yes.
When I look, tumekaa kama hatuna mwelekeo. We are behaving like we don't have a direction.
Yes.
And in any society, we must have a leader who gives a direction. We must have a leader who gives hope to our young people and to our poor. We must have a leader who is ready to sacrifice his time, energy, resources to change the life of his people. When I feel I'm not seeing that leader in our constituency.
No people.
It's not yet. We are still far from the reality of life.
Yeah.
Why am I saying that? God has helped us. We have areas of this country, and we have seen what is happening in the other areas, unlike what is happening in our home area.
So you've compared.
I've done the comparison, and I've seen there are so many opportunities, especially at the national level. We need a leader, a real leader, who can transform the lives of our people.
So now, umesema maybe there's no inspirational leader, there's no leader so far who can give people hope in their lives and even transform their lives.
Yeah.
What are these specific issues that you'd want to address in your agenda?
One is youth empowerment. When you look carefully in our society, the 75% of the population we have is the youth.
Which is true.
Again, they are the same youth who are very vulnerable. And they are the same youth who want to be assisted. But now we miss the link. In every society, and I can give you a very good example. When William Ruto became the deputy president of this country, alituongelesha kama sisi watu wa Kalenjin
Pale Nairobi.
Na akasema hii Nairobi si ya mtu. Hii Nairobi ni sisi wote.
Yes.
Ni sisi wote. Akatuma sisi wa Kalenjin, why are we not doing business in Nairobi? Kwa nini hatuchenge Nairobi? Kwa nini tunataka turudi nyumbani? And this is where the 50% or 80% of the GDP is. And it inspired us. And I can tell you for sure for now, go to Nairobi. Ukifika every street, unasikia Mkale anaongea. And they are very proud. Wanaongea lugha yetu.
Yes.
Now, they are doing now serious businesses. Very serious businesses. They have invested a lot. And even they are now residing in Nairobi. Wamechenga manyumba ya kuishi. Si ya kurent. Wamechenga ya kuishi. That was inspiration.
So you want to be that leader who can inspire people.
I want that leader. I want to be that leader who can inspire these young people.
Yeah.
Ile hawa vijana wanaangalia, huyu vijana tunamjua alianzia kule chini. Amegrow. Amekuja. Amekuwa kiongozi. That one again only will touch so many lives. Na watatia bidii. Wataona kumbe it is possible. Inawezekana. Na watakuwa na matumaini. That is one. Two, I want to be a link between these young people and the opportunities here in Kenya and outside the country. We have so many opportunities in abroad. We have so many opportunities in the national government. Tunataka ile mtu anaenda kupisha hii mlango. Hizi mlango. Na kutetea wa vijana. Simply, ukiangalia vizuri, nowadays huwezi ngoja kwamba ati serikali waweka advert jobs na ungoje. Hapana. Tunataka ile kiongozi anaelewa kwamba lazima unaamuka asubuhi, unaenda kule ministry, unaenda kuongea na CS ama PS, you make friendship, unaongea naye vizuri, unamwambia bwana, niko na vijana wameumia nyumbani. Nataka nisaidie. Na hata unaweza pitia kwa Koriama, unapelekea asali kidogo. Kwa pale unamwambia hii sukari wachana nayo, tumia asali. Kwanza ya Baringo ni pure.
Hiyo ni urafiki unaunda sasa.
Hiyo ni urafiki unaunda. And I'll tell you for sure, if you do that, you will make friendship. Na hiyo friendship itazaa matunda. Wakati kutakuwa na opportunities kwa hiyo ministry, you are the first person nakwambia kuna kitu hapa. Na I'm very sure he will have created more opportunities for these young people at the national level. Two, mambo ya kutafutia nafasi ya kwenda kusoma scholarships abroad na even some to work there. We have so many. We want to link these young people to the outside the country. I can give a very good example. Juzi nilikuwa naona Gishu County. They are sending their young people to Finland.
Yes, I am aware of that program.
And that program, you have seen they are somewhere around 300 after almost every 6 months. That's a quite good number. And I have inquired to know the benefits na hivi la niko na nini kwenda nje. And I've got one friend na amenieleza vizuri kule nje there are so many opportunities. You go study and you work. Now I'm told the least person per month can earn 500,000 Kenya money.
That is the least,
The least.
the least earning.
Yeah, the least earning.
1,500.
Kama wewe ni lazy, ila utaki kufanya kazi sana.
Ndio unapata 1,500.
Kenya money. Huh?
You meant the laziest.
Yes.
Ile goigoi kabisa.
But if you are hard working, you are very aggressive, you make up to 1.5 million.
Wow.
Those are the opportunities we want to open up for our young people. The other day nilikuwa naona hapa Kenya kulikuwa na some employment ilikuwa ya ACCs.
Yes.
I think it was around 797 positions, Ministry of Interior. And I was surprised. Do you know we did not get even one in my constituency?
In Baringo Central.
Baringo Central, 0.
I think Baringo South was lucky. We had about 4 or 5 of them.
The other was the luckiest. They had 12.
12 in Tiati.
Yeah. Now, this is the link I'm telling you. It is missing because, you know, maybe the network of some leaders is limited to some extent. And I remember one of the former leaders say, your network is your net worth.
Which is true.
That is why you need to build a very good network, because that is our net worth.
Yeah.
So that shows that we have some challenges we need to address.
Well, I can see your youth agenda is focusing much on sorting out the unemployment issue.
Yes.
And you'd want to build a network that would give you a bigger negotiating power and also an opportunity to knock into those on those doors and get to the opportunities that they need.
Yeah.
Or rather, your young people, the young people in Baringo Central need. On average, how big is the youth population in Baringo Central? Of course, the country's average is about 75%. If let's say youth wakupigie kura sahi, unaweza pata kura ngapi?
Vijana peke yao.
Baringo Central has a voter population of about 40,000.
Yeah, it's around 40,000. So just 75% of the 40,000.
So, ukipiga vile wewe ni kijana, I'm sure when you're in Tengezi, you're interacting with them. Umeangalia iko aje? How is the unemployment rate in your constituency at the moment?
At the moment, unemployment rate is 75%, 20%.
That's huge.
This is very serious. Yeah, because if you look carefully, you'll find majority wamemaliza shule lakini wako nyumbani.
Yeah.
Na unajua it's very painful wakati mzazi ameuza ng'ombe zote, ameuza shamba, amesomesha mtoto na mtoto anarudi nyumbani, mnakuja kaa na kuangaliana. There's no hope. So painful. Tunataka kuona matunda ya yale sacrifice wazazi wetu wanafanya. They do a lot of sacrifice. Tunawaheshimu sana. Lakini opportunities ya vijana hakuna. Ana unapata ya kwamba siku 2-3 unapata kijana amejiingiza kwa pombe, unapata amejiingiza kwa dawa ya kulevya, kwa sababu anakaa ana namna.
Kweli.
And that one also, you see, it brings problems to our society. And we are losing a generation. And if I was looking carefully the other day in Kaona, tusipokuwa very careful, in the next 5 to 10 years, tutapoteza generation. We must save these people.
So aside from you wanting to sort out the issues of the youth, we acknowledge kwamba kuna mambo ya hii drug abuse. Mipango yako ni yapi? There are so many youth groups in the village, and sometimes maybe using my constituency for example, utapata there is at least maybe 1 or 2 youth groups in a sub-location. that would even average up to like, if you have 20 sub-locations, that could be 40 youth groups. Mipango yako kwa hizi hawa vijana ni yapi?
Now,
because there is the bit of setting up, or rather linking them to employment and sending them abroad. Na kuna wenye hawana hizo skills za kuemployiwa.
Now, kuna groups tofauti. We have some categories of these young people. Kuna wale wako kwa jua kali sector, kuna wale wako kwa bodaboda sector, kuna wale wako taxi sector, ama transport sector, in short. Na hao wote, we need to empower them. And by doing so, my research and the best way to help a human being is to get the resources. Like for example, my dream, and I can say candidly, I can see the border sector. It's a wide business sector. These are people, they need to be empowered. And I'm very sure they have structured circles. Some I know. Within my constituency, I know they have structured circles. These are people, we need to channel resources into these circles. We need civic education. We need to empower them through the resources. For example, if we have around 800 to 1,200, let's say 1,200 border operators. Those are within Kabarnet town. And they have their circle, which they have. And assume everyone makes a savings of around 500 shilling a month.
I'm doing the math.
Just do the math.
So 1,500, 500 people a month. That is 750,000
a month. Those are savings. These are people, ukisha kuweka hiyo savings zao, kama mimi kijana, through the CDF and other partners, funding partners, I want to make sure kwamba we channel resources to these circles. For example, assume I channel 5 million to this circle every financial year.
Through the CDF?
Through the CDF or other funding.
Does it allow for that?
You see, the law within the CDF is not restricted. They have some percentage for infrastructure and other developments. They are not specified. Right? So it is upon a leader
to be creative.
Na
aweze kujua atatoa wapi 5 million.
Yes, aweze kuona kwamba how can we empower. Secondly, we have the 100 million for the bottom up. You know, I believe and I used to tell my friends that William Ruto is the 5th president. Without blinking an eye.
And that's what I was to ask you. Ushajibu.
And if William is our 5th president, he has promised that he will channel 100 million per constituency for bottom up. Now, this amount of money are huge. It needs a leader who is close to his people, who is close to these young people. So that they are being able to empower these young people by channeling the resources to their circles. And I can tell you, for example, I was doing some math. Nikasema kwamba kama kila financial year tuko na kama milioni 5 kwa hii sako ya vijana, plus ile wameweka savings. In 5 years time, they'll be having close to around 30 million. They're about.
Yes. It's actually 28
million. Yes. For these circles, wanasomba loan. Because statement yako kama umesave vizuri, you can borrow loan. Good one. And you can, I see nowadays wanasemanga, you can borrow mara 3 of what you have saved. So that is around almost 80 million. Hiyo inachenga nyumba korova 5-story, 4-story, 5-story building.
Of course, considering the cost of land, hapa Kabarnet bado iko chini.
Iko chini, it's around 4 million, 5 million.
Yeah.
You see? So you can build a 4-story, 5-story building. Now vijana watakuwa na now shares, and that is a long-term solution. Long-term solution that they will be having shares. Watasomesa watoto wao bila shida, na hiyo watakuwa napata manufaa yao kila mwezi, na mpaka hata watoto wao mpaka wachuku. They will benefit from that investment.
What I'm saying is that you have an elaborate agenda for the young people.
Yeah.
What other sector would you want to focus in? Because I'm seeing our time has really gone and we need to wrap up.
Women. Also, we need to empower our mothers. Our mothers are very hardworking. Unapata kule wanauza nyanya, kule wanauza mboga, wanauza, unapata wako kwa soko. At least they are doing something. They are working very hard. Tunaweza saidia hao namna gani? Our mothers have suffered a lot from these premium credit institutions. Wala wanakuja kutabeli hawa kwamba mchukue loan, and these institutions wako na very high interests. Now my thinking is, these mothers wanakuanga na groups.
Yep.
You know, they are very active, and they have very active groups.
In fact, if there are groups
Yeah.
that are very active, are those for women, and they are very loyal.
So much.
You know, my first job was I worked with the constituency office as a constituency manager.
Yeah.
And maybe that's something that most people don't know. And majority of the people who benefited from the Uwezo Fund were women groups.
Yeah, sure.
Na wao washarudisha yote, including a group where my mother belongs to.
Yeah.
So, women and their groups, how are you planning to sort them out?
You know, it is very simple. And I will tell you for free. When you look carefully, these women just need a very small support. And they pick it up. And to caution them from these high interest institutions, we need to put resources into their groups or a type of banking. And it's very simple because we are looking for partners. You know, in this current generation, in this country, there's some things people don't know. There's a way we can do proposals to support our people.
Yeah.
And we can get the funding from various institutions.
So you're also looking at partnering with other institutions.
Yes.
And any other organization that is willing to fund projects that are focusing on women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there are so many partners who are willing to support women. There are so many. It is that we don't have that leader who can go and look for those partners. And at the same time, this bottom-up funding is also key. We need somebody who is good in reaching these women. We need a leader who is good in reaching these women. And we put resources into their groups. For example, you know, for women, if you put a group, ukiwekea 1 million, for example, watakuwa wanaomba round. And that 1 million can grow.
It should grow actually, because I see them, they put some interest.
Yes, just they need a seed capital, a very good seed capital, of like 1 million to 2 million. And utapata wamesonga mbali sana. Ya pili, and I want to tell even other leaders to focus on this one. There is something I've been watching carefully. Ukifika kwa market, you find there's a lot of challenges, especially on matters of perishable goods. We need to mitigate in a way that we need to have a cold room. Cold room will help these women to preserve These perishable goods.
Something like a freezer, a cold room, yes.
Yes, a cold room. It's just, it can be a container.
Yes.
It can come in from a container.
Yeah.
Na itengenezwe vizuri, na iwekwe solar.
Yeah.
There's a new technology. Yeah, solar.
To sort out the women who are selling perishable goods.
Yes. So that,
at the market.
Yeah, so that wasikuwa naenda hasara. Anauza kufika Juni, kama hajamaliza anaenda kuweka kule cold room. Inakuwa fresh.
Solar powered cold rooms.
Yes, solar powered cold rooms.
And 2/3 of Baringo is arid and semi-arid.
Exactly.
So solar is everywhere. We
It's
are also
everywhere.
near the equator.
Yeah.
The solar is hitting at almost 90 degrees.
Exactly.
So maximum solar power.
And I will tell you for free, we shall improve their lives. Hakuna hasara ya kufanya kwa perishable goods. Nyanya yako utauza mpaka uze, hata hakuna mmoja taharibika.
And that's true. That's what supermarkets do.
Yeah.
When I finished my high school, the first job that I did was working in a supermarket. One of the leading supermarkets.
Hustle pia.
Hustle, my first employer was a Muhindi in a supermarket in Nakuru, and the wholesale, I tell you, vitu zinaishi huko, cold room.
Yeah.
And how I got to know about the cold room is a story for another day. When you get a customer who is carrying a lot of money in the bag, unapelekwa cold room wende uhesabu huko bila haraka. So the faster you finish, the better, because you can't survive the temperature.
Yeah.
Well, looking at the comments, I can see Jonathan Maigong. Do you know him? Anasema, bodaboda sako in Nanyuki is worth 150 million by only saving 50 bob. Na inawezekana. So people are already seeing the practicality of your idea of empowering the boda circles.
In Kangemi, there is a boda circle just here in Embu. They are around 2,000 and something members, 2,600. And they are saving 50 shillings.
Every day.
And they have a vision. They have said by 2026.
2026.
They will be owning a bank.
Wow.
Because they have calculated, na wakaona kwamba by 2026, watakuwa na around 300 and something million. Na wakasema wataomba loan, top up, inaingia 1 billion, wanapungua sako, benki yao.
Somewhere where they can borrow their money, circulate, and still control the profits.
Yes, that is the vision.
That's really nice.
Tunasema kazi ni kazi, wira ni wira, pesa mfukoni. Let us improve from where we are and we grow, and it is possible.
Wow. To your politics, umeingia tu juzi. The first time you informed our newsroom about your candidature, I think it's about a month ago.
Yes.
Hata mwezi haijaisha.
Kabisa.
Ground vitu iko vipi? Baringo Central has 5 wards and about 140 polling stations.
Yeah.
How are you faring? Nominations are about a month and a half to come.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's good reception, that we can say.
Yeah.
The feedback we can get from the voters. Because that is people who knows how things are bearing on. But I can say there's a very good reception. And we are moving very hard. I'm moving very hard to reach every corner, sell my ideas, sell my agendas, and my ideologies of why I want to lead them. So it is just a matter of time, and I've given myself some time frame. I've given myself up to first March, then I will see how I've progressed. So I have a time frame, I'm working on time. Yeah.
And looking at your politics of 2017, you are, to some point, you are associated with one of your competitors right now.
Yeah, sure.
Munaonana macho ama ile wanasema olelege.
We are good friends. We are good friends. We are good friends. That time we were partners. We were working at partners.
Partners in the politics?
In politics.
Yes. Did you get to work for him? And maybe you're wondering whom we are discussing, or rather we are talking about.
No, I understand. I mean, we were partners at that time. And we were friends.
Biashara ama kisiasa?
Kisiasa. You know, kisiasa pia, you become partners.
Did you work in his office?
For a very short time.
Yeah, and maybe for the sake of those who don't know, that is the current speaker for Baringo County Assembly, Mheshimiwa David Kiplagat Kericho. Hata yeye anawania hicho kiti.
Yeye pia ni aspirant kama mimi. Na ile mtu mwenye ako na kiti ni Joshua Kandia. Tunataka kujaribu kama tunaweza nyang'anya hiyo kiti.
Na
kutoka kwake
na msaidie kufanya kazi vizuri.
Kusaidia kuendeleza ile kazi amefanya.
Kweli.
I always believe that we must respect our leaders.
Yeah.
Because these leaders are God sent. And in any case, ni Mungu mwenye anasema ni huyu.
Yeah.
So we respect them. We applaud for what they have done. But tunataka kuendeleza kutoka hapo tuendeleza kwenda juu on a higher level.
Well, there's a critical question here. Actually, two of them by a gentleman who has written to us on WhatsApp. Anaitwa Robert Kibe from Kabarnet.
Yeah.
My question is to Mheshimiwa, what plans do you have when you get to be elected in regards to talent and innovation among the youth?
Yeah.
Swali la pili, what measures will you undertake to ensure that there is fair and equitable distribution of CDF during your leadership?
Very good question. Thank you, Robert. I know Robert. And I'll start by saying talent is key in our society. It's only need structures and leaders who can tap that talent. Like, for example, when you look very carefully in our constituency or even our county, we have a lot of talent, especially on the sport, athletes, but they are not tapped. They are wasted. Now, we need to put structures in place. There is a Minister of Sports.
Yeah.
In our constituency, I've never seen their work. I've never seen what they're doing. Because we need to see a workable government, a workable facilities. Because we need to have, first of all, we need to have facilities.
And by the way, there's a stadium which has stalled in Kabarnet. And we even became a point of ridicule sometime. There was an aerial picture ilichukuliwa na vile uwanja imechorwa bana.
I'm telling you, we are in a mess.
Yeah.
We need to tell ourselves the truth. We are in a mess. For example, we don't have any sports facilities in our constituency. We don't have. And we have high altitude areas.
County government wamejenga na itumiki.
There's no, there are so many issues we need to sort out. I want to assure my young people, I'm going to fix and make sure kwamba we have facilities. First of all, we must have facilities to tap the talent. Either music, we need to have a good studio for our young people. We need to have a training camp for athletes. We need to have a very good stadium. And we are going to push it either at the national level or the county level. That will be my assignment, to make sure we have those facilities within our constituency for these young people to get opportunity to explore their talents. Another factor, another thing beside the talent,
there is innovation.
And the innovation again. We need to have innovation centers, well equipped with internet and other facilities. Nowadays, there's something we must acknowledge. This technology is key to our growth. Na kuna kazi mingi these young people are doing online and they get paid well. But hatuna facilities. These young people don't get opportunity to do online jobs because we don't have facilities. We need to have centers, innovation centers for that matter. For example, you can see we have, there's a time I was passing, I was going to Eldoret through Ravine. I saw an Ajira Center along Machon.
Naitwa Rift Valley Innovation Center.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, I was looking and I was wondering, where it is placed. You know, even most people don't know there's such kind of a center within our county.
Yeah.
We need to bring these things to a central point.
Where majority of the people can access.
Yeah, majority of these people can access these facilities.
Yeah.
Like Ajira Center, you know, they're employing so many people, young people, and they get well paid.
Yeah.
We need to lobby such kind of institutions so that our people get opportunity to explore this technology.
Well, I think that's well handled. Maybe you can touch a little bit on the equitable sharing of CDF. How are you going to share the 140 million that Baringo Central receives every year?
Good question. Thank you. This, you know, CDF, it is a kitty which is there, and which has been there. The beauty now is that at least they have increased the amount of money. And they are good money. 140 million is a lot of money. It just needs transparency, equity. What I have thought about it is that we need to have a structured committee, people with people at heart, and to share this CDF in equitable manner. One, you find that majority of the leaders don't share this CDF across the constituency in equitable manner. They narrow to certain regions where majorly they come from, you see, or they narrow majorly this contract. They somehow narrow this contract to their people or close allies.
Yeah.
I will tell you one thing. The leadership of the young people, we are very different. And I've been saying that. As young people, I always say we are one tribe. We are one tribe. Tusemangi, mimi natoka hapa, nataka hivi vitu ikuja hapa. Hapana, tunasema sisi kama vijana with my team. I love a very serious team. Very serious people who want to deliver to our people. You know, you must as a leader first, if you have that heart to deliver, you also look for a team who are ready to deliver.
Yep.
And we want to make sure kwamba hiyo CDF imeenda to every ward, every sub-location, to every location. And by doing so, I've said myself, any project ile inafanywa kwa sub-location level, watu ya hapo wafanye hiyo project. Vijana ya hapo wafanye hiyo project. Si kutoa mtu kutoka from this ward aenda afanye project in another ward. No. Kama project ni hiyo ward,
Your resources
zipaki hapo.
Whether it is a 5 million administration block,
whether it's 20 million,
pewa
wapewe.
na capacity, na kama hakuna mtu akona capacity.
I'll tell you for this. Hii mambo ya capacity ni utapeli.
You're a contractor, hebu tueleze hapo.
Ni utapeli. For this CDF, sheria yake ukiangalia vizuri, haina sheria ile unasema ade lazima ufanye hivi na hivi. I've promised my young people and I'm going to do it, even if it is to change the law. Wakikwama sana, I'll go and push and change the law. Ya kwamba, these young people, we must give them contracts and we give them upfront capital.
They get to be given a starting amount.
A starting amount.
Ya jumpstart.
Jumpstart. Kwani vijana wana pesa hapa hawana?
Will that not go against the procurement law?
Iko wapi ya sheria?
Si sasa unaambiwa kwanza you are paid per milestone.
Wacha nikwambie, you must bend other things. Hii sheria
for some things to move.
You must bend other things for some things to move.
Well,
Hii sheria ikiwa kwamba tunaenda kubadilisha.
And that is your role as a legislator.
And as a young person, I must look these young people kwamba hawana hiyo pesa, hawana hiyo nguvu, lazima niwapee kazi, nipee startup capital. Ile siku inalipwa kwa bank nakata hiyo pesa.
Na inarudishwa.
Anarudishwa, anapata pesa yao. Okay.
Well, that sounds like a very ambitious plan and very juicy as well.
Yeah.
Kama unaeleza vijana hivyo, then that sounds like it's selling like...
And it is possible. Wana kuna kitu ile iko impossible.
Nothing
iko kweli. Tukiwa kama serious tunataka tusaidie watu wetu. Kuna kitu impossible.
Itakuwa ngumu, ikuwe ngumu.
Yeah. It is, everything is possible when there is a will.
Where there is will, there is way.
There is a way.
Hivyo ndivyo wanasema.
Yeah.
Well, we've gone way beyond our time. And maybe to read out a few comments that may have come during our conversation, David Chesire anasema very, very true. Wakina Maigong, I hope you're listening. Projects to be given to locals, period. Already watu washaanza kushika naye. Rotich, Josephat Rotich anasema congratulations location. You really have the people, Baringo Central constituents in your heart.
Asante.
All the best, Tororey.
Asante.
I can see also family is here. Naona watu wa familia wanasema we are watching live from Kwale.
Asante.
And we are ready to support you. You know, at the end of the day, it's about support. Do you have support? You will need resources. You will need time. But there's also a part that people ignore, the moral support. Leo upige campaign, ama DP akuje Kabarnet na ubuiwe. How will you get back to being, or rather being on track and continuing with the campaign? You will need serious moral support.
Exactly.
Jonathan Maigong anasema it has been happening to capture something contractors. I think they're acknowledging the fact that there are some contracts that have been going to one family. Well, you've taken your time to listen to Bwana Tororey, and this is how we'll be doing it for the next remaining maybe 28 days. We've just done, this is our second day into the conversations that we are engaging the aspirants who are eyeing the various seats in Baringo County. And maybe as we are about to finish, should you have a final comment, you can give it, or rather put it on the comment section. We are also live on YouTube. You can put your comment on YouTube as well. And at the same time, the WhatsApp number 0799 030 030. To wind up, Bwana Tororey, we can't finish. If we are to talk with you, naona wewe umejipanga na maneno. Sasa ile imebaki, enda upeleke kwenye ground. Or we can organize another conversation.
Yeah, why not?
To add to that as well, we are organizing debates for every constituency.
Good.
Ikuwe nyinyi ni aspirants 10, tutaorganize yenyu. In fact, today we started the organizing for Eldama Ravine.
Nice.
MPs aspirants.
Good.
So we'll have a round table. Tuulize swali, youth empowerment, unafikiria nini? So all that you have elaborated, we may not finish them at the moment. Maybe during the debate, you'll get to elaborate more. What are your final words today for the people?
First of all, I want to thank you.
Yeah.
And I also want to congratulate you.
Asante.
You know, I know you. You have you started, I think, some time back from a Facebook page.
From just a Facebook page.
Up to now, a media house.
That's what we are working on. Natunashukuru.
I want to congratulate you and
Asante
say
sana.
that is bottom up.
Nashukuru.
Umehustle, na ni bottom up.
Na unajua kuweka hii maneno ingiane kabisa. I think that the owners of the party should recognize you for relating everything to the party agenda.
Yeah. So I want to say thank you to my people. Baringo Central Constituency. I request you to support me.
Can talk to that camera or rather.
Yeah, I request you to support me. And I'm very determined and focused to deliver what is in my heart, what is in my mind, to deliver my agenda to my people, and to transform my people and transform my constituency and bring change, a real change. Naweza sema kwa Kiswahili kwamba tumechezewa karata kwa muda mrefu sana. Tumetapeliwa sana, tumedanganywa. Siasa yetu imekuwa ile ya udanganyifu na blackmail. I want to assure you that we want to get rid of that and get a sober society, a progressive society. I always say we don't retrogress, but we progress. And by progressing means we have to come together, we reason together for us to reach our destiny. Naweza sema kwamba Bwana SK kuna kwanga na I always say kuna level ama click fulani ya wanasiasa. Kile tunafaa waondoke katika arena ya siasa. Kwa sababu kuna utapeli na udanganyifu mwingi. Ya kwanza unapata wakati ya kusaidia watu wetu wanakuanga they choose wasaidie nani ama wasaidie nani. Wanaambia vijana kwamba saa zingine unaenda kuomba kazi ama unaenda request support from these people, wanauliza wewe unatoka wapi, wewe ni familia gani, baba yako ni nani. Ukipata kwamba ujulikani they don't care to help you. Tunataka tukate hiyo and get a level crown whereby tunaangalia talent ya mtu, tunaangalia skill ya vijana wetu, tunaangalia ile profession ya mtu na bila kuuliza baba yako ni nani. For example, wewe ni rafiki yangu kwa muda. Umaisikia nikikuuliza baba yako ni nani?
You don't even know where I come from.
Ama unatoka wapi? Hata mimi sijui. Hata sijui unatoka wapi.
Leo ndio nimejua yako.
Now we need that kind of level crown ya kusaidia watu wetu bila kuuliza wewe unatoka familia gani. Mama yako ni nani? Baba yako ni nani? Alipiga na alifanya nani campaign? Tunafanya campaign, tukimaliza campaign, pap, umeshika kiti kama kiongozi, kama mbunge. Wewe ni mbunge ya kila mtu. Wewe ni mbunge yule alikupigia kura. Wewe ni mbunge yule akupigia kura. They deserve support. They deserve wapate usaidiwa kama mbunge wao.
Well, you've heard from Bwana Tororey. He's just 33 years old and he's showing a lot of confidence in going for the seat. We can also read from the comments, quite a number of people really feel that you deserve that seat.
Thank you very much.
I want just to wish you well.
Thank you.
You're standing for equitable distribution of resources and also serving people without favor. But should you deserve, you get what you deserve. That is a leadership clarion call from Bwana Tororey, who is vying for the MP seat in Baringo Central. He has an elaborate plan for the youth, and I think it has taken us almost 30 minutes just talking about the youth agenda. And we believe that should you get that seat, you will stick to that, because this platform also gets to expose you in a way. You are committing to people who are watching, and these videos will stay. Facebook has it has unlimited space to keep those videos, and these people will keep referring to these videos whenever you get into that leadership, and you might be held accountable for what you're saying.
You know, it's about character.
Exactly. So if you can maintain, if you are able to maintain your promise and to deliver your promise to the people of Baringo Central, then this platform will have played a role in ensuring that these people know what your plans are as a leader, and also keep them aware that this is what you're planning, and they'll put you to account on what you've said. And from us as Baringo News, we are very grateful for taking time to watch this program, Know Your Aspirant. Tomorrow we'll be hosting Mheshimiwa Mtarajiwa Emmanuel Ngetuny. He's the person alitetemesha Eldama Ravine the other day. Akisema last time alivai bila kakitu, bila bibi, bila gari, and in the wrong party. He was vying in Kano. And right now he was telling the deputy president that sasa niko na pesa, niko na bibi, na niko na gari, na niko na kakitu. Hao watu wataniweza kweli? He will be our guest tomorrow and will be bringing you here so that you can get to know who he is and what his agenda for the people of Eldama Ravine. This program is preceding the debates that are organized by Eblin Media in partnership with these aspirants, because they are the key stakeholder. Without them, no debate will happen. So all the constituencies we will you will be seeing the plan that we'll be posting on our platforms. We will also be partnering with other institutions so that we can ensure that you get to know who your leaders are and what their agenda is. From us as Baringo News and the entire Eblin Media fraternity, I've been your host, Komen SK. Have a good night and see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
There is no UDA in Tiati. There is no wheelbarrow in Tiati. Yeah, we hear about it elsewhere, but it's not.